Sunday was we had a long ride home, and that's when things got interesting. So we get home at 4 o'clock in the morning, and the kids are up at 7:30, and I'm moving pretty good. Right around lunch, Gus, our Irish setter, attacked our Pomeranian. This has happened before. Usually it's a treat or something they're fighting over, but this was a big deal. I don't know why I don't know what. There was nothing. There was no treat involved. There was nothing involved. Gus just literally attacked him, and so we picked Junebug up, and we're like, "Hey man, you okay?" You know, and Amy's holding him, and he's got an eye displaced. Yeah. So Pomeranians, dogs of those nature, it's not a common thing, but it's a real possibility for them. And so the eye is just somewhat sort of bulging. It's not out of the socket. It's just a little bit different than the other one. And he can't shut it. So I think the eyelid is trapped behind the eye somewhat. And so I'm Googled real quick about this issue and understand that it's treatable and we got to act quickly. Amy gets in the car and takes off. So she goes to a local vet. They send her down to Charlotte to a specialist. And she gets Junebug down to Charlotte, and he gets about a 30-minute, hour-long operation. And they push his little eyeball back in there, and they sew his eyelid somewhat shut. And it needs to sort of allow all the tendons and everything to sort of heal. And so he's not going to be laid up too long. He's got this cone, 10 days, and then I think things should be better. I imagine he's absolutely uncomfortable. And wearing a cone has to be the most miserable thing for a dog. So that was Junebug. Amy's gone all day. I got the 2 little girls. And I called my sister. I said, hey, this might be a good time for you to come over and visit.
yeah, exactly. It'd be a great time bonding.
She's got a pretty open afternoon, so and she doesn't see the girls enough, so she comes over. I put Nicole down for a nap, 2:30 to about 4:30. Nicole gets up, and I need to feed her, so I'm giving her a pouch. I got her in her little chair at the table, and Isla is really jealous of Nicole. Isla, the 3-year-old, is jealous of the 1-year-old, and this has been a bit of a struggle in our house. Isla has shown some frustration over Nicole. We're working on that, and she's grabbing things out of her hand. If Nicole sees something in Isla's hand and walks over there and goes, "What is that?" and Isla takes off in the other direction. She's very not liking Nicole at all. So, anyways, I hand Kelly the pouch to start, feeding Nicole a little bit, and I'm going to do something else. I think I was going to make Isla's dinner. So I'm over there making Isla's dinner. I grilled about 6 hamburgers on the grill and put some cheese on them. I'm going to chop them up, put a little ketchup on them, and I make a little mac and cheese, and I'm going to put that on a plate, and Isla's going to have dinner. And while I'm doing this, Isla walks over and bites Nicole's finger. Nicole's sitting in her chair at the table, getting a pouch fed to her, and Isla walks up and just chomps down, leaves marks. And Nicole is really upset. Ow, painful cry happening. And my eyes probably got really big, but I take off in that direction. Isla sees me coming and takes off in the other direction. Isla goes and hides under this little table that we have that she sometimes eats at. I see her under there, and I move the table to one side, and she scoots under it. So I just picked the table up, and then she started crying. She saw me and was scared. And so I picked her up, and I was like, so we had this conversation. And anyways, it was a little, and Kelly's sitting there going, "It's okay, everything's fine, everything's okay." I'm like, "No, this ain't sliding. We're gonna talk about this. You're not gonna bite and get a pass." But anyhow, I was like, I took Isla up to her room and had her sit in her room for a little bit and think about it. And then I came up there, and me and Nicole tried to get her to come out and engage with us a little bit, maybe play so we could talk a little bit, walk through it. She still doesn't want to talk about it, still doesn't want to be reprimanded, still doesn't want to acknowledge anything that happened. I finally get her in the truck, and we're going to take a couple laps around the property. We got a little 1 mile loop that we drive back in the woods. And so we drove about 5 laps, real slow, and had a conversation about biting and doing better and not doing that and all those things, and trying to apologize to her sister at some point. So trying to figure out how to teach them to apologize without just forcing an apology.
Yeah, make it count. Like not just saying empty calories.
Yeah.
That's the words, right?
Yeah. So that's all. That was my day.
Welcome back. Did you want to go right back to Vegas then?
Oh my God! I missed the kids so bad. When every time we go out of town and we come back, that first day back, sort of chaos like that. Yeah,
that's something.
Our dogs are biting each other, our kids are biting each other, and then after that first day of chaos, it sort of all melts back into normal.
Hey, listen, the Isla thing will sort itself out. She's going through a phase. I understand
She
it.
is.
I've seen it 100 times. I don't know what you're going to do about the dogs. What are you going to do with the dogs?
I don't know, because so Amy's like, Gus just needs to be played with. And I said, no. I was like, if that was the case, nobody would own dogs, right? If our dogs were just going ape because they weren't getting ran around the yard enough, nobody would really own dogs, because that would be too much trouble and potential, calamity.
Mm-hmm.
There's something else going on with Gus. I can't quite figure it out. And I'm a bit nervous, about him biting one of the kids. He's an Irish setter, and he's not that type of dog. You don't think about that type of thing happening, and he's never really given me an impression he might do that. But it worries me a little bit. He growls at me. He growls at Kelly when he growls at people. He shouldn't be growling.
This is what Junebug does to me.
Yeah, Junebug's a growler too.
In fact, I almost would have guessed that Junebug provoked it.
There's a possibility that Junebug did snap at Gus, but I'm not sure what was going on there and why Gus went after him. Oh. Usually that only happens when Gus is after a treat that Junebug has.
Yeah, me and Junebug had a bit of a standoff in your bus.
Yeah.
And it was over food.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyhow, we're going to get so much advice over this. All right, guys, I know a little bit about cars, so believe me when I tell you that Tire Pros, they're the real deal. They've got great people, great service, and they can take care of all your automotive maintenance needs. Plus, they're a sponsor of this show, so they got great taste in podcasts. So check out Tire Pros. Follow them on Facebook and tell them that I sent you.